Well, I've heard of taking a scenic route um, to getting back home, but that is just a little bit on the ridiculous side, if I do say so myself. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strong from QuickTime Reaction, and yeah, busy weekend this weekend. We got two wrestling shows, one of which that I'll be there for in person, which I'm gonna have a fun time with that, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. But we do have a few movies to talk about beforehand. And the first one that I got to go see was A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. This one was directed by, and I'm hoping I pronounce his name correctly, Kogonada. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this was written by Seth Reese. And this movie stars Colin Farrell, Margot Robbie, Kevin Kline, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Jodie Turner-Smith, as well as a whole host of other people. And this tells the story of David and Sarah, who just so happen to meet up at a wedding that is going on, and their cars force them to join together to go on a big, bold, beautiful journey that sees them go through some of the high points and low points in their life, and maybe at the end of it, they may come out on the better end of it. Who knows? So I have been seeing the trailers for this a lot whenever I go to the movies, especially when I go on to when I go see more. I, I wouldn't necessarily call this an independent film, like an indie style film, because it has some pretty big stars in it. But when I go see more A24 films, or maybe stuff from Focus Features or something like that, this trailer will most likely pop up when I go see those types of movies. And just from what I saw in the trailers, I was like, oh, this is definitely going to be Oscar contender for sure. You got Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell, two absolutely incredible actors, doing their thing, and it looks like it's going to be some deep, complex stuff going on in this movie. And then, of course, coming up here to watch the movie, I see the critic reviews. They're not the best. I think they're hovering around the high 30s, I want to say. And the audience score is not out on Rotten Tomato yet. So that kind of hurt a little bit, because I was like, oh, this is a potential, Oscar film in my eyes. And having come out of it and having watched it, I sincerely don't know what those critics are on. Legitimately, I don't know what they're on, because this is an absolutely amazing film. First off, Kogonada, he did an absolutely awesome job with the direction of this movie, how it flowed seamlessly from segment to what I class as segments, when it's really just bits and pieces of the journey. Just amazingly well structured. And that also goes to Seth Reese, who wrote this movie. Just really good job of kind of balancing out each of our characters. When we see a high point in David's life, we go to a high point in Sarah's life, and vice versa. If we see a low point, then we're going to follow up with another low point from the other person's perspective as well. The music in this was really, really good, really simple, but it was really, really effective and really conveyed the emotion really, really well in this movie. And once I heard enough of the score and how effective it was throughout the movie, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to give credit to whoever the composer was for this movie. Um, and there's good reason as to why the music was so good in this movie was because the music was done by Joe Hasashi, who has been the guy to do music for all of Studio Ghibli's films, mainly the films of Hayao Miyazaki. So there's a reason why the music is so good, because it was Joe Hasashi doing the music. And again, I may be butchering his last name. I apologize. Um, that is just my Midwest dialect, kind of taking over there a little bit. um, Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell are absolutely amazing in this. And they just do a great job of remembering the memories as they're happening in real time while also, doing said memories. Like, for instance, this was in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything big, but Colin Farrell, David, does a musical number in the movie. And I watched it and I was like, he's actually really good at doing the musical stuff. Like, the choreo was really good, his singing was pretty good, and Margot Robbie also did a really good job um, singing as well. Um, but they're also really, really good with the emotional moments as well. Like, there's a reason why both of them have been nominated for Oscars in the past, is because, like, they know what they need to do with emotional scenes. And here, they absolutely do that 100%. It was also really nice to see Phoebe Waller-Bridge in this, and I thought she was really, really good and really, really funny in this movie. I know people gave her all sorts of guff about, Dial of Destiny, with her being in it, but I thought she did a really good job in this movie, and it was really cool to see her in this movie. Um, I'm so this is what I think. Um, people, I, I sincerely don't know why this movie is getting scored so low by critics, because to me, we as humans, we are very flawed individuals. We have our strengths and we have our weaknesses. It differs from person to person, but it's because of those strengths and it's because of those weaknesses, that's what makes us us. And finding that person who can embrace our strengths and deal with slash kind of help us with our weaknesses is really kind of the core of this movie, where these two, they're going on this journey and they get to know each other through experiencing all these different highs and lows and just all this strife in their life, and they come out of this knowing each other, but at the same time it's like they're not willing to walk down that path again until they reconcile with themselves. And that, I think, is something that a lot of people should do. Like, um, for me, like, whenever I'm faced with um, a pretty daunting decision. I usually try and plan out multiple paths, just so that, like, if plan A doesn't work, I have a plan B, C, and D, and so on and so forth. And that's just who I am as a person. When it comes to emotional stuff like family and stuff, that has always been something for me that just hits home really, really hard. And losing family is one of the worst things that can happen to a person. And I've had that happen to me. When my grandpa passed away, it was rough, but I know that he is looking down on his grandson with all sorts of smiles right now, because, you know, he's doing what he loves to do, and is living life to the best of his ability. And I'm, to borrow a line that is used in the movie, I'm, I don't want to say content, but I'm very happy in the position that am in right now. And for those that, don't know me, I usually am an optimist about a lot of things. And that's just how I would like to view people, is that, there's got to be at least some good in everybody in this world. It's just, sometimes you just got to dig just a little harder to find it. And I think that's what David and Sarah learn, is that, after reconciling with themselves, that they're able to meet each other halfway and do a little bit of digging. They can find the good in each other. And to me, that's what I think, like, this movie is about, is like, accepting your strengths, deal with and ask for help sometimes with your weaknesses, and just be able to meet people halfway, and just be there for people with an open heart, and just be there for people in general. So yeah, that is my review of A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. This movie was really heartwarming, really moving, and yeah, it was just really nice, really sweet, and it was very emotional to watch. Really, really emotional. I highly recommend that you check it out in theaters if you can, because I definitely think it's something that everyone needs to watch at some point. But that is it for me, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought of A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my review, guys. Be safe out there. And I'll just say, if your GPS starts talking back to you, my suggestion is that just try and shut it off, because you don't necessarily know where that GPS is going to take you. But to borrow a line from, the Polar Express, it doesn't matter whether or not, doesn't matter where you're going. It matters if you get on. But if your GPS, is getting you somewhere really bad, then just shut off your GPS. That's all I'm going to say. And I will catch you guys next time.